And the Lion King, when Simba is with the monkey and the monkey slaps Simba in the face and Simba goes, "Why did you do that?" And the monkey goes, "Well, it doesn't matter. It was in the past." And that's my point, is living in the present moment, being there and really trying to concentrate and focus on what you're doing.
What if you had the opportunity to have a coffee with your 18-year-old self? What advice would you offer? And would you actually take the advice on offer? I'm absolutely fascinated by that question. I interview people from all walks of life, from Heineken Cup winners, endurance athletes, local taxi man, you name them, I've interviewed them. Be inspired, learn and grow from the experience of others. Welcome to the What I Know Now podcast with Mark Kelly. So today's guest is Doug Gordon. Doug Gordon's been working in the investment industry for over 20 years and through stress had a near-death experience in 2012. That led to him coming back with a passion to help heal people and actually turn that passion into two businesses. And Doug is one of the most passionate people that I know. Welcome to the show, Doug.
Thanks, Mark. Great to see you.
Doug, would you mind giving us a brief introduction and overview about your journey to now?
Sure. So I worked in the investment management industry in asset management for 20 years. I worked in England for 5 different companies, and then I work over here as well now in Ireland. And in 2008, obviously the markets hit rock bottom. And a lot of people in the industry were under a lot of stress. And I certainly felt it, I have to say. Things just seemed to be falling from our feet. And anyway, I had a lot of issues in terms of digestive stuff that led to 2 operations that I needed in the digestive area. And in 2012, after going through a lot of suffering for about 4 or 5 years, I then had the norovirus, which was a stomach bug. And I was rushed to hospital. ECG said harsh, blood pressure doubled, and from there then I just experienced a near-death experience, which was absolutely surreal and amazing. No one should ever fear death, I can tell you that. It was encapsulated an amazing feeling of love, light everywhere, and it was incredible. But I came back with this absolute passion to try and help people. And I came back with a gift of healing as well, which I discovered very quickly. After my son stepped on a splinter, we couldn't get it out. I visualized light coming down through me into him, visualized the splinter coming out, said a few prayers, and out it popped 3 minutes later. So, of course, a 7-year-old son at the time told everybody, and it went from there. So, over the last few years, I've had pop stars, I've had international sports people, international beautiful models, and many business people and normal people as well. And the healing turned into life coaching, the life coaching turned into business coaching turned into workshops, and workshops is now, as you know, turned into keynote speaking. And here we are now together. So that's a bit about me.
So quite a journey. And do you know what? If I heard your story and I didn't know you, I think it would be a little bit OTT. But now that I've actually met with yourself a few times, I can see that passion really resonate, and you really believe in the difference that you can make to people, and you show that people day to day when you actually work with them. So it's a really great story to share. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the mentors you've had, or kind of good advice you've been given over the years that's probably shaped your experience?
Sure. Well, we all have to say this as sons that our dads are our number one mentor. Look, my dad was an orphan. He lost his mum and his dad by about age 5. And he had a really tough time. And he had nothing. And he was shoved into a boarding school. He made his way into Trinity. He did well in Trinity. And he worked his way up from absolutely nothing to a multi-millionaire. So my view is, if he can do that with hard work and passion and nothing to start with, the platform that I've had has been incredible that he's given me. So I've got no excuses. I have to get out there and do it. And I suppose the near-death experience was an extra kick up the arse, literally, in certain ways.
And what do you think the secret to success is?
Well, I really believe in, obviously you have to have passion and enthusiasm. I think there's a great book written by Frank Bettger called How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. And he says you can have people that know everything in business, but actually the most successful and best paid people are the ones who are the most enthusiastic and the most energetic. So that would be one of the keys. I also am a massive, like yourself, an avid fan of Napoleon Hill. And he says 4 key factors, which I really believe in. And the first one of those is that you have to visualize your goals and believe in those goals. So you visualize what you're looking to get, you kind of feel what you're looking to get, and then really have faith and belief in that. And then create a plan, not necessarily an exact plan, just a plan of where you are now and where you're looking to go to. And then just persistence. Like the way he says in his book that Thomas Edison took 10,000 goes to perfect the light bulb. You've got to just keep going and going and going until you achieve what you want to do.
Do you know what? About an hour ago, I was sitting in my room. I was just looking over at my vision board, which is just over there. And I've got, I'd say about 15 cutouts of photos that I want to bring into my life. And I created it in January, actually. And I was looking at them. There's a picture of a good deed a day. There's a light bulb. There's my house, and there's some holidays I want to go on, and there's a TEDx photo. And a lot of the things that I've actually achieved this year are on that vision board. So I'm really, really big into that visualization of goals, and I'm really big in affirmations, and every day I say them, I visualize them, I take 30 minutes to do them. And anyone who tells me they don't work, well, I just think they're talking complete bullshit, because they do. And I really, really think that there's a will that when you really focus on something, you work towards it, it becomes a very, very clear higher purpose, and you start to bring people into your lives to help you do that. So it's very, 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 very exciting. Who do you admire in your life, Doug?
Well, two of my favorite people would be Wayne Dyer and Tony Robbins. So I know you're a bit of a Tony Robbins fan as well. With Tony Robbins, he's very much about start the day as you mean to go on. And he does his meditation practice, which isn't a meditation, it's more of a breathing technique that Wim Hof, the Iceman, does, where he's breathing for 30 times.
Yeah.
And he's pumping his body full oxygen. And then he closes his eyes and visualizes what he's going to do during the day. Then does another 30 breaths, and then visualizes a longer-term goal, and then visualizes a really long-term goal. And it's a fantastic way to start the day. And obviously, he goes on about starting the day with gratitude and love and passion, and make that day continue in that same form as well.
I've pretty much done that for 2 years. It's called priming.
Absolutely.
Two years,
I do it every day as well.
Yeah, so I haven't missed a day.
I've added a few things in where I look in the mirror and I say to myself, I'm going to have a fantastic day today. Yeah. It's going to be a fantastic day today.
Do you know what? For a lot of people, that might sound like a bit of a wacko thing to say, right? Totally appreciate why that would be. But when you actually start to look yourself in the eye and say, I am enough, and to feel that confident and set a tone, and you do it, it is so, so powerful, because you start helping other people, and then you start living that life. Same way as you look in the mirror and say, I am an effing reject. I'm not going to achieve this. I'm going to have a terrible day. Well, guess what? You probably will. Congratulations on that.
The other thing with Wayne Dyer, which I love, is he talks about that your body is made up of cells, and those cells regenerate all the time. And your skin cells, you can see, you hoover them up. Your bone cells, your organ cells, everything regenerates. So he says the only constant within your body all the way through is the energy within, and the energy that binds and connects you. And if you can optimize that energy, you can optimize your life.
Yeah, do you know what? I just love it. I absolutely love it. And what would you say to somebody who's feeling down, disinterested, disengaged, just feeling like, this is all BS? What would you say to them?
Well, I think, in order to optimize your energy to get you more uplifted, it is all about what everybody says is body, mind, and soul. So the body stuff is obviously you need good exercise. The blood pumping around your body obviously vitalizes you. Secondly, obviously proper nutrition. So you are what you eat. I said earlier on, as Wayne Dyer says, your body is regenerating. So your cells are regenerating. You're replacing them with whatever you eat. So try and make it good, and that way you'll have a good cell structure. And then good rest as well. And then obviously mindset is important. I mean, so many people procrastinate about the future and worry about the past. I think in my video I did for you, I was talking about the Lion King. And the Lion King, when Simba is with the monkey, and the monkey slaps Simba in the face, and Simba goes, "Why did you do that?" And the monkey goes, "Well, it doesn't matter. It was in the past." And that's my point, is living in the present moment, being there, and really trying to concentrate and focus on what you're doing. And then finally, in terms of getting your mood up, there's two things I really recommend on the soul light thing. One is laughter yoga. It's fantastic. If you ever wake up in the morning, you're feeling a bit down, look at yourself in the mirror and start laughing, even if you don't feel like it. You'll be rapidly laughing yourself, laughing in no time whatsoever. And the second one is meditation. Meditation is one of the best ways to reduce stress, increase energy, and make you feel better within yourself.
Tell me, what does the future look like for you?
Well, so, I mean, I love doing my asset management stuff because I meet so many different people all over the world, and I really enjoy working for the company that I'm working for. But obviously outside, I'm doing a lot more keynote speaking now. And I've been asked to do the Good Summit. I'm doing Ireland's first strategic well-being conference, and I'm starting to do some stuff with you as well, Mark. So I think hopefully going forward, that's just going to increase. I'm also starting to do a lot of radio stuff. Here I am with you, but I also presented my own first radio show a couple of weeks back, and I'm looking to get a slot now with one of the Dublin radio channels on a weekly basis as well. So it's all about helping people. It's all about adding value to people's lives, and it's working with other people and learning from people like you so that I can help more people, or we can help more people together.
What advice would you offer to an 18-year-old Doug if you're sitting there having a coffee?
Well, I think the most important thing in life is love. And I always say that love is an acronym for lots of vibrant energy.
Love it.
And everything in life is energy. Thoughts are energy. Speech is energy. And thoughts lead to speech. Speech leads to actions. Actions leads to habits. And habits leads to destiny. So start with a positive thought and end with a positive destiny. And the other thing I'd say is that you've got to be very careful what you say in life. As I say, speech is energy. There's so many people in Ireland who go, Jesus, I hope it doesn't rain on my wedding. And then it feckin' rains. Yeah. I always say, well, don't say that. Be positive. Say something like, I hope it's going to be a beautiful day. And it will be, hopefully.
Or when people actually say to you, I'm grand. Well, not too bad. It's like, not too bad. Grand. It's just mediocre. Rather than saying, I'm good, I'm great, I feel fantastic, I'm alive. This is completely different emotions.
Absolutely, Mark. I don't know if you've heard of the guy, Dr. Emoto, who does experiments on water. So we're made up of 90% of water or something like that. And Dr. Emoto did this experiment on water where he actually took cups of water or containers of water, and he wrote in one gratitude, the other one love, the other one anger, and the other one hate. And he did this over and over again, and he would talk to them as well. He'd say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I hate you, hate you, and so on. Anyway, and then he looked at these particles of water when they were frozen in the freezer. And he looked at them under one of the most powerful microscopes you could possibly look at. And this is well documented. You can look it up on the internet. And the ones that had grateful and love, they were in a perfect, synchronistic, crystalline structure. It looked beautiful. Whereas the other stuff, the anger and the hate, were all over the place. So that shows if people are saying negative things about themselves and negative things to each other, not being careful about what they say, and we're made up of 80% or 90% of water, what's that doing to us?
That is a fascinating subject. You got me there. I did not see that coming. That was a brilliant way to end the show. Doug Gordon, thank you very much for your time, sir. I really appreciate it.
Mark, absolute pleasure. Take care.
Bye. You've been listening to the What I Know Now podcast with Mark Kelly. To subscribe to the podcast, just enter WIKN into iTunes or any Android podcast of choice, or check out the website at www.wikn.co. I'd love to get your feedback, either positive or negative, about the episode and what action you're going to take. I look forward to seeing you next week, and remember, have an absolutely super day. Bye.